Hello everyone and welcome back to Beaglington-On-Sea. Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to Beaglington-On-Sea, and it's very nice to be back here in Beaglington-On-Sea. And weather is turned nice and sunny, although it's kind of clouded over slightly, but yeah, it's quite nice outside today. And I've been making sure to take in plenty of the sun. However, I am inside here to film another episode of Beaglington-On-Sea, and it's me, Alex at the desk is here, Smutpuss will be around later on, he's probably sunbathing somewhere nice and warm. Just push that back there. He has been up here on the window. I've moved the sign off the window so he's had a bit more space to take in the sun in the mornings. And yeah, so Alex is going to be looking at some stuff at the desk, and we've got some trains to run. So yes, thank you to everyone who likes, comments, shares and subscribes. It's nice to have you back with us. So we're going to start with the old traditional Flying Scotsman with the improved teeth. And on the middle line I have the J50 by Lima in BR livery with, I acquired a very cheap, it cost me about £2, a maroon Grizzly coach, first and second, with it's not a brake coach, you need to get a brake coach, so that's with car number 79, a Triang closed axle box Pullman. And then on the branch line I have a main line J72, the T and BLR number 23 of Tomlinton and Beaglington Light Railway, and that is going to be pulling a northeastern themed goods train. So we're going to start off with the Flying Scotsman. Bit nervous being back again, I guess. And then we're going to set off the J50. And we'll get some footage of those running, and then we'll run the J72 Gap Brown style. So let's get some footage of those trains running. suppose we'll stop somewhere. We'll stop the platform. Oh, that's it. There we go. How embarrassing. This is flying on now. So we'll just stop that, and obviously, as you saw, Tonglington and Beaglington Light Railway number 23 managed to make it to Mickwick, and everyone is safe and sound. No one was hurt. So, with that, it's time to hand over to our friend with the desk. Some say he's one of Ireland's #1 consumers of glue products. Others say that he spends more time in A&E for glue-related injuries than anyone else in the country. All we know is he's our man, the venerable old Alex at the desk. Take it away, Alex.
Yes, thank you, Alex. And I have at my desk some stuff to show you. So I'll turn the camera around in a minute and explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to unbox something, and I'll also talk about the stuff on my desk. Right, so we'll just put that aside for 1 minute. I'll get to that. So this is my, it's number W80723, and it is a sort of like a short Mark 1 bogie luggage van. It says load, here, what does it say? It says, is it 6 or 8 tons? I can't really read it. 8 tons distributed, it says. Right, anyways, so the body of this is always coming off of the chassis, and I find it like I never get to run it because it always falls apart. So I got my super glue, and I ran super glue along the inside of this and on the other side of here and on the ends, and I left it to glue. And I've got this masking tape which shouldn't take the paint off the model. It's for painting walls and stuff, so it can just hopefully peel it all off and the body will stay on. There we are. So hopefully now I'll be able to return this to traffic because it's not really been used for the last 2 or so years. We can pop the bogies on. I really must buy lots of little axles for my Mark 1 rigs because they've all got these railroad plastic axles, and it'd be nice to have them running nice and smoothly. Might be able to run more of them in a train. So yeah, I'll chuck that into a train and hopefully it'll work. So I'm glad that's sorted. Now, you might be wondering why I've got this horse box on here. Well, it's going to be part of our horse box theme sort of episode, I suppose. You might know it from the title of the episode, which I haven't named yet, but I will do, and you'll already know what it is. So this is GWR number 546, and the reason this one that I have out on my desk is here is because I've been on eBay, and I have bought 2 more. And so I'm going to unbox these. I'm going to tell you a bit about the horse box, which is not very much, like, about the model. I don't really know very much about it. So we'll take the top one first. This one's kind of in a gold packaging, and this one's in a silver, and this one says not scale, not, and then it says unsuitable for children. And this one doesn't have any sort of warning on it at all, but it says on the end, Lima 305 66 8A2 50-ton BP. Well, that's not the right box then, is it? And this one says 305626, which is, well, I presume is the right number, because in 1979, I think it was when these came out, there were 3 different versions. They were GWR, LMS, and SR grade. So the GWR must be 305626. So the LMS one was 305625, and I think the SR green one was 28 rather than 27. I assume maybe there was a BR one. I'm not 100% on that. And actually, funnily enough, I don't know if anyone knows the story of like the N-Gauge Lima stuff. So there was, for ages, there was a Lima Blue King promised in N-Gauge, but it was actually just a 001 with a larger version of an N-scale coupling put on the front of it, and then like the photo was scaled down to make it look smaller or something like that. Anyways, that's the story I read. In 1978, they had the LMS Red horse box in N-Gauge, and then in the 80s there was a catalogue with a GWR brown and an SR green, but I don't think those were made. So they would have been 616 and 619. The LMS Red one was 617. Anyways, enough of the product numbers. We're going to open this one up, and it's packed with some bits of sponge from a kitchen. And it's also got a black roof. So my one has a white roof. So presumably someone painted the roof of this one. We've lost the wheel set. Oh dear. I can't pick it up. Oh, my back. Right, anyways. So yeah, we put that wheel set back on. Hopefully it's alright. Are these similar wheels? They look to be the same style of wheel. So the wheels are original, I think, but the roof is not so much. Oh no. Don't tell me I've got a dud. Is the wheel going to keep falling out of this, I wonder? The axle. Well, maybe not while it's rolling. We can hope for the best. So that one's also 546, and you can see that one's got a black roof. So we've got a bit of variation. And this one also has a black roof. So did they do a black roof version? No, surely. I think they were bought from different people. But they're both packed with sponges, so maybe they came from the same person. I don't remember buying a lot of two. I think they were separate things, bought at different times. So either it's an amazing coincidence, or I bought them off of the same person 2 different times. But there we go. We have some horse boxes. And they're nice and snug. The thing with these horse boxes is that they have these nice metal bits on the end, which I don't think the Triang ones ever had. I do like the Triang horse boxes, although I re-chassised them with the chassis off of four-wheel coaches because they fit on those chassis, but they look a lot better on those chassis as well. They have a bit more detail on them than the basic underframe. Looks a bit silly on their horse boxes, and I find it silly that the railroad open wagons and the Thompson tank engine Thompson trucks that those are based on have coach chassis and not wagon chassis. So if I ever get Troublesome Truck 1 and 2, I'm going to put different chassis on those. But enough about chassis. We've got these now, so we've got some variation at least. They've got, this person's painted like red on the ends of these where the footsteps are. That's the one with the gammy wheel. Stay in. I'm not entirely sure how or why that's like that. It looks like their tank has fallen off the bottom of theirs and they've re-glued it as well. There's some sort of bubbly stuff there, and yeah, I'd say they've reattached those at some point. The wheels are quite dirty on these. Hopefully they don't dirty up the track too much. I don't really want to clean them while they're in the coach in case they damage the coach any more than it's already, well, horsebox, than it already appears to be. One of these sides mustn't be in the right place. I'm not sure how I'm going to sort that. I just hope that I don't lose the axle most of the time. So I'll just pop them up on the track and we can see them on the track for a sec. So there we have both sides of the horse boxes, and then we also have the original without the painted roof. So we have a nice show here of horse boxes, which I think look pretty cool. And I'm glad that I have a couple of them. I've got an LMS one, I think, from Hornby, the new detail one, and I have some driving ones as well. So I should be able to have a nice train of horse boxes to run on. I'm going to run them on the main line, I think, rather than on the branch. So I'll have to put some more together, maybe. Or I could just have these three in a Great Western brake van. But I think they look really nice, and I'll just have to see about trying to get that wheel to stay in. Maybe if I can glue something to the underneath of the where the axle boxes are on the inside, because I'm just trying to figure out which one of these it is. That one, because I think it looks like there's some damage to the holes, so it's just dropping out the bottom. So if I could just kind of super glue a little sort of retaining piece there of anything really, that might stop the wheel from falling out, or it might not, but we'll wait and see. So I've got some Gorilla Tape here. It's like this really strong stuff, and if I just cut a piece off here, it's really weird stuff, and then if I could cut a thin sliver stick it onto there. I don't know how it's supposed to stick. This is supposed to be like this. This was very expensive tape that I bought to fix something, and it didn't work at all because it wasn't very sticky. But I think maybe I have to peel off this piece here, and then stick it on like so. And what it'll do is it'll stick to me instead. That's a bugger. I thought that was going to work. Oh, what? Trim that in half. Give me a piece for each side. And I put a blob of super glue onto the bottom of there. Dry it up a bit with a cotton bud because we don't want it in the actual wheel hole itself so much. Smutpuss is very noisy this morning. We'll leave that dry now. Right, we'll try and fit this in now because I think the glue is mostly dry. Yeah, that seems to have worked. Right, well that's a success. So now I'm going to hand those back to Alex and he can run those on a train. So thank you for joining me here again at the desk, and I'll see you for another episode soon where, who knows, maybe I'll try and fix something else Western region themed. But for now, I'm off, so see you later. Bye.
Yes, thank you, Alex. And we've put those horse boxes into a train. There's a passenger train for the people whose horses are going to the races. And then we've got the 3 Great Western ones, and then I've got a Triang one. As I said, I modified this. It's got glazing, and it's got a 4-wheel coach chassis. And then I've got a Southern Railways kit built one that I got at Wexford Exhibition on a Triang wagon chassis. And then I've got a Hornby super detailed LMS horse box, and then I think it's mainline or Bachmann Shrewsbury Great Western brake van. And then I've got a pannier tank, my 2788 on that end, and I've got the 565667 on the Collock coaches with the people in, so another Great Western train. And I've got my Prairie here, number 4589. So I've got Lima horse boxes, I've got a Lima Prairie, I've got Triang Terrestries, I've got Triang and Hornby horse boxes, I've got a Bachmann 56XX, and it's really weird because it looks like at some point there was a brass top to this, but it's been painted black. And then I've got Hornby and Triumph coaches. So I've got a good mix of stuff, and it's all ready to go. So enough waffling, we'll get these trains started. So we'll get the 56XX going first. There we go. And then we'll get the pannier tank going. Off to the races. I'll get some footage of those running, and then we'll see if Prairie pop down the charge to liquid. time to wave the red flag now and stop these trains at the station. So it's like 56 exits just there in the station. And we should wait for our other train to arrive. Our horse boxes, presumably back from the races. I hope everyone had some good wins. Oh, here comes the train. Go! Oh! And there we are. Well, the Prairie made it a bit more safely, punctually, and more coordinatedly to Mickwick than perhaps previous trains will arrive there, which is good. Let's put my flag down. So yes, that's the new horse boxes for the train. So now I've got a kind of variation as well. They're not just these LMS and Midlandy kind of ones or whatever. Everything seems to have run fairly well today. A few little hiccups, but better than normal. Must be the nice weather or something, perhaps changing it. I've even got the window open, which is nice. I can't see my breath or anything. So yeah, that's it for this episode of Beaglington-On-Sea. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget you can like, comment, share and subscribe. And we'll be back hopefully in the not too distant future with another episode. You've been a wonderful audience, and I hope we've been a wonderful pair of Alexes. Until next time, don't forget there's the subscribe button and the playlist thing. Ta-ra! There's two ways of doing things. The Great Western Way and the wrong way.